I'm really excited to show you this creamy white chicken lasagna with spinach, which is a great way to use any leftover chicken or incorporate your favorite rotisserie chicken into a great pasta bake. July 29th is National Lasagna Day. It's a special day for everything now. And this recipe is also going to be part of the hashtag Lasagna Palooza hosted by Just Cook the Damn Food. Check out the hashtag, click on the links, check out all the other awesome collaboration that's going to be part of this lasagna mashup. Let's get started.
Okay, so we're gonna start with a boiling pot of water at a rolling boil, and then season that with salt, and then start adding in your lasagna sheets. We want to cook these noodles until right under al dente, so not all the way cooked yet. It'll finish cooking in the oven. You can cook it in batches if you want, or just dump it all in at once. I prefer to cook in batches of maybe 4 to 5 sheets at a time, and that's just to avoid the mess that can potentially happen while removing the lasagna, where it might just turn to spaghetti and make a big mess. Now, as these noodles are getting done, have some paper towel or kitchen towels lined up so you can drain the spaghetti and then lay it on it so it can dry out, and then cover it with a moist paper towel. Now, keeping that pasta covered with a moist paper towel will ensure that it does not dry out while we make our chicken and spinach mixture and the rest of our ingredients. So I'm gonna add in some chicken in this bowl. This is some rotisserie chicken which I have shredded, and if you have leftover chicken or some roast chicken, you can use that for this as well. Now add in some ricotta in here. That's gonna help create that nice mixture. I'm gonna add in about a half cup. Then add in 1 egg. Then some salt, pepper. And on the side here, I'm boiling some water to cook my spinach. So just add in your leaves once you've washed them thoroughly into the water. Let that cook for just about 2 to 3 minutes, just enough until the color has darkened and the leaves have wilted. I have an ice water bath right here, which is going to blanch the spinach, help retain that green color, and stopping the cooking process instantly. Let's drain out the spinach and make sure your hands are clean, and then just gather the spinach up and squeeze any excess water. You're gonna be left with this. Add this into your chicken mixture. Now just mix all of this together. Now before we mix this all the way, grab your cheese. So here I have some yellow cheddar, some Swiss, and some mozzarella. I'm going to use half of it for the top and half in this mixture. And now just thoroughly mix it. And there you have it. Just set that aside, and I'm going to add in some mushrooms. I love mushrooms with a nice white bechamel sauce. So let's quickly saute up some of those. So here I just have a couple of cremini mushrooms diced up in some butter, coming up to a nice sizzle to really reduce the mushrooms until they've released most of their moisture. To help with that, add in some salt, season it with a bit of pepper as well, and really feel free to use your favorite mushrooms. And these are looking great. Set this aside, and we are going to focus on our sauce. So bechamel, pretty standard. Add in some butter and flavor it with some garlic, and then just let that kind of roast in the butter for a little bit until it's nice and fragrant. And once the garlic is super aromatic, add in your flour, and now we're gonna start making the roux for the bechamel sauce, a bechamel garlic sauce technically. So cook out this roux. It's gonna start to smell nice and nutty, nice and roasted. We don't wanna have raw flour. And once you can identify those elements, then start adding in some cold milk, a little bit at a time, while you're whisking. Now, while you're whisking, and once you've made a lot of these sauces, a lot of bechamel in your life, then you'll know and you'll be confident that no matter how you whisk, if you are patient and if you continue to whisk, it will work out all the lumps. Another tip is if it's looking lumpy and the sauce is not simmering like it is right now, it probably will not come together, become nice and smooth. It has to start simmering just a tiny bit for the sauce to really come together. And while normally we season it with some salt at this stage, because we're going to be adding some Parmesan or Grana Padano later, which is super salty, hold that until you've added the cheese in. At this point, just let it simmer until it has thickened enough to coat the back of a spoon.
And then rain in a bunch of finely grated Parmesan or Grana Padano. All of that in there. Plus, doing the step off the heat ensures that the cheese does not split in temperatures that are too hot. Look at that, awesome. Okay, give this a taste. That sharp flavor of the Parmesan or Grana Padano, and it should be nice and subtle, creamy, cheesy sauce. No pulse, just that sharp, cheesy flavor.
Okay, let's start to assemble the lasagna. Add one layer of your bechamel sauce. This will be our base layer. Keep it extra moist because it's gonna be the one to get the most direct amount of heat from the bottom. Then start layering in some of your lasagna sheets and just pinch off anything excess. So just you can fit the lasagna all across that bottom surface. A bit of overlap is fine. Then add in some of your chicken, spinach and cream cheese mixture with some of your mushrooms, and then just with the back of the spoon, just spread that all across the lasagna. We'll do another layer of bechamel, more noodles, and then some more of the chicken mixture, mushrooms, and then we'll rinse and repeat until we're on the topmost layer. For the topmost layer, make sure to add one final layer of noodles of the lasagna to top it off, to kind of seal the lasagna, and then a final layer of your bechamel. On the bechamel, add in your shredded cheese. So I'm using a combination, the remaining shredded cheese, which I had of Swiss, cheddar, and mozzarella. Just spread that out, make sure nothing is going to kind of fall off the casserole as it's baking. And this casserole is now ready to go into the oven and then bake until that cheese is nice and molten and there's a bit of golden browning on the cheese. In the middle rack at 400 Fahrenheit. Let's let it bake. Now, depending on your oven, it'll take between 20 to 30 minutes to get a nice bake just like this. Do it to your liking. This is looking amazing, and I've made quite a bit of lasagnas. This turned out to be one of the best looking and the easiest to serve lasagna, which you'll see right now. Now to serve it, make sure you cut up into how many pieces that you want to serve, and make sure you release the edges as well. Now personally, I love our fish spatula because of its thin profile to just go in there and take out that perfect cross section, can't call it a slice I think, of lasagna, and it's looking so incredible. So go ahead and look at all the other lasagna recipes for this collab. Let me know down below which one was your favorite, which one are you most likely to make. Stay tuned for a new theme for the entire month of August.